Hey folks, Automatic here, Automatic Games. Doing a little flying here on this Friday. Hope Friday finds you well. Hope this stream does as well. I'm doing good, if I didn't already say that. So, we're setting up a flight plan. As you can see from the title, it's Columbus to Charleston, West Virginia, and beyond, because I kind of want to do these little legs, right? I think the flight between Columbus and Charleston will be about an hour, maybe a little less. Prep time not included, of course. I'm just talking pure flight time. And I kind of want to work my way over to the East Coast eventually. Not saying I'm going to do that tonight, but now the reason I'm doing these small legs is because I'm flying the Junkers Ju-52. Built in 1939. And I'm flying the vintage one. So you get a few different options with this pack. And those are the vintage. Then you got the one with floats, with skis. And then you've got a retrofit one that has modern instrumentation, but it's still effectively the same plane. We're going to go with vintage. Interesting thing about that is everything's labeled in German. Everything's labeled in German, and they're using a metric system. So everything's going to be a little off. And there's some dials I'm not going to be able to read. And this whole flight technically will be VFR. So like visual flight rules, right? But we'll be taking off from Rickenbacker. We are doing like what do they call it? A dark and cold and dark start. But I'll probably just have the co-pilot do the checklist. And what's interesting about West Virginia, especially with the VFR approach, is well, I don't know what the weather is there right now. There is some cloud cover. That's about all I know. We're going off of live weather, so we'll see. But we're gonna land at Yeager, which is in Charleston. But yeah, the thing about this is the clouds. Sometimes they'll hug the mountains in the Appalachians, and I'm sure any other mountain range. And that almost dictates an IFR landing, but we're going to try it visual. Because why not? So I do want to look at the nav log. Because flying this thing it's very different. Okay, they kind of want us at 10,000 feet or so, and that's fine. I'm really looking at our heading. 152 degrees. That's what I'm going to go with. At least for our cruise and descent. That'll get us in the general vicinity. And then we'll cheat and bring up a digital map to see where exactly the airport is. Of course, that won't help us in a visual landing, but oh well. I have it set to early morning. Like I said, weather is live. I think we can go ahead and start up. I don't need a complicated flight plan. In fact, that would hinder me since 152 is the heading we're going for, and a complicated flight plan would throw a lot more headings at you. I'm going to try this simple, given the plane that we're using. Go to Chamonix to fly over. I need to branch out more. Go see some more exotic places. But this plane, this is one that I've wanted since I downloaded Flight Sim. Or well, downloaded it, since I started playing it. I finally just got the opportunity to buy it. Well, this is certainly not visual conditions. And it's raining. So they're throwing some stuff at us right out the gate. However, We'll be at 10,000 feet. I don't know how that translates to meters. And that'll probably put us above this mess. And then the hope is that Charleston has clearer skies. That is the hope, anyway. 152 is the heading that we're going to want. I just got to keep that in mind. This is what we'll cheat with. When we get close to Charleston, we'll bring up the VFR map. Lord knows, we'll need all the help we can get if things aren't any clearer. An hour southeast of us. Okay. Well, I know the first thing we want to do is hit the battery. We'll close this hatch, the cover, which was open when we got here. It's interesting. But beyond that, I'm not familiar with this plane yet. So go to the cockpit checklist, and rather than try to learn too much as we go, we'll autocomplete the page. I have gone through this. I've gone through some of the pages. Obviously, some of these are going to take a second. Okay. Next is startup, and while that's going on, I'm gonna... Well, what did I do there? Yeah, we do want to go ahead and autocomplete page. Although these ones are going to take a second, we'll just let that kind of do its thing. In other words, let our co-pilot get us started here, get us fired up. Kind of cool. You can open up the doors. It's for immersion's sake, I'll take it. Kind of lagging a little bit. I think it's because guy's firing everything up. This dude's glitching through the wing. So much for immersion, eh? Close the door. So this plane it can hold 16 people, I believe. Yesterday I counted the seats. Alright, let's get this thing going. I believe the checklist, at least that portion of it, should be done. After that, it's just taxi. Right? Okay. So we'll close this out. Hit some of our lights over here. Nav lights on. Beacon lights. Strobe lights. Wings lights. Nice. Okay, we need to request permission to taxi at this point. Trying to think, we are at Rickenbacker. We can kind of fly out of here east or west, I think. Hell, I don't know. Let me check out the flight plan on the map. Okay, so yeah, we'll want to depart east. Then we'll bank to the right and get our heading of 152.
Right ground Junker 614 with India request taxi for takeoff east departure. Junkers 614 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 5 right using taxiway Bravo, cross runway 5 left. Contact tower on 120.05 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 5.
Can't really
right,
set the
taxiway
altimeter
Bravo,
yet. I
runway
don't think
5
we've got
left, Junkers 614.
those readings, but we can go ahead and input that heading. Get into the heading bug here. Actually, let me quit out and get way stupid close. Oh, there it was. So, I mean, that's great. That's that one. That's where we want to be. This is where we are. I think that'll do it. I wonder if they set my flaps. Doesn't look like it, okay. Seeing as I'm not familiar with this plane, I'm kind of... I guess flaps are... Are they? They're down here, aren't they? Yeah. Weird. Okay. It's alright. I also want to tell my co-pilot not to interfere with anything. I mean, he can do, communications. That's about it. Don't like him taking control of the plane. Alright, well, we spent 10 minutes on the ground here. Let's go ahead and get underway. We'll keep the windows shut. Considering it's raining, but you can open the windows, too. Alright. We're not going that way. If they wanted us to go that way, they should have put a fence here. That's it. That's a spirit. Besides, I'm not totally clear on how to reverse in this thing. Feels like we're going awful fast for taxi. Yeah, I keep jerking the brakes too. Just not used to it. And so let's take off in a storm. We can just glitch right through that guy. Well, we're on the taxiway. Why are we, Is that the wind that basically brought us in full stop? Oh, I hate to give her more RPMs. Well, we will. We'll get these meters up to 10. Or thereabouts. In the hopes that that'll do it. She was taxiing fine at 8. Then I think we just hit the wind or something like that, and just wasn't enough RPMs. Sure as shit don't have my brake on, do I? Nope. Yeah, let's brake on. There we go. And the brake's not even in German. Alright, so I gotta remember, she's got more RPMs now. She's a tail dragger, so if I bring her to a sudden stop, she wants to, nose over. No windshield wipers, but I can open the windows. Man, the wingspan on this thing is crazy. Yeah, see, we're picking up so much speed that the tail's starting to lift. And the wind's knocking us all over the place. Now, I hate to give us less RPMs, but I think I need to.
Junkers 614, hold position, caution, other traffic. Junkers 614, continue taxi.
Well, that was quick. I guess
Roger, Junkers 614.
Do you think they meant the van? Because again, we can fly right through the van. That's fine. As we did. What is he doing there? Has he got the programming of a plane? Is he like... He's gonna hold short of the runway. This is weird. But ask the stewardess to check on him. You okay over there? Okay, let's take off. Let's get out of here. Where are... Oh, that's right, under the seat. I'm guessing our taxi lights weren't on. Whoops. Okay, now we're taxiing. Alright, let's get this German machine going. We need to get the RPMs back up. I'm guessing that should do it. Put us at 10. Yeah, we're moving. No, we're not. Okay, I'll give her just a tad more. She should be moving at 10. I can only blame it on the storm. Or the parking brake. Yeah, well, it was a parking brake thing. That's why we weren't going anywhere. I don't want to nose over here. I don't care. I don't care. I was supposed to stop short there.
Tower Junkers 614 ready at runway 5 right east departure.
Junkers 614, altimeter tree, 0.05 wind 027 at 10. East departure approved.
They call it Junkers.
Takeoff runway 5 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 5 right, Junkers 614.
We'll figure out our altimeter reading here. Somewhere. Hey, True, how you doing, man? Happy Friday to you. It is Friday, right? Yeah. 30.05. Okay. So I need to input that here. It's good that I checked because it wasn't accurate. And then I need to do it here too. Don't know why. I know what it's for, but I've not seen a plane with two of them. So I find it, maybe that's... I don't know. Redundancy. That's what it is. Cockpit looked like a B-24 until you zoomed out and you realized what it was. I was torn. They don't have a reputable B-24 yet, but I was torn between the Junkers Ju-52, which is this, and the Beechcraft Model 18, which was built in 37, and it's got kind of that, like, one of its liveries is that chromed out design, you know, like iconic of old American planes. But that one's only like a 6-seater. It's similar though. It's a tail dragger and all that, and it's old. Like I said, 37. I think this is 39 is what it said. And everything's written in German, right? That's throwing me off too. And I'm dealing with meters, like kilometers, and I'm guessing these two are my altitude. Just because I've done a test flight or two, and I'm thinking that this one here is like, I don't know. This is the big numbers, like 1,000 feet, 2,000, or 1,000 meters, 1 kilometer, rather. 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. And that might be, like, 1/10 of a kilometer, I think. And then that's speed. Fart is speed. I guess I recognize that, kind of. But yeah, it's weird. I also got a retrofit version that's got modern instruments and stuff. Freaking, they got shit like under the seat. Oh, that's right. Speaking of which. Oh, hell. Hold on a second. I need to wake up my wife. I think she needs to be up for work or something. Okay, sorry about that. Did I click these? They're on taxi. Let's set them for landing. I guess you do that for takeoff too. Yeah, still a lot of stuff that I don't understand about this plane, but at the same time, it's pretty simple. This mechanism is freaking weird. That's what gets all 3 engines started. Or that's the starter, I guess, right? Yeah. Sorry about that graphical error there. Alright. Flaps. We'll go ahead and set those. And that's this wheel here, but I can just do it by hotkey, so that's how I'm gonna do it. And it didn't even look like it moved. Okay. Oh, we're less than 10 RPMs. But we're rolling. Guess the wind has shifted again. She doesn't need much runway, so I'm not worried about. Oh, they'd want me further up anyways. Okay. Not an issue then. Only issue with this is immediate takeoff, because I'm not totally comfortable with this plane, and I think once the wind gets it, I'm a little worried, but I feel like once we're up into the storm, we'll do fine and get up above it. Maybe even be able to open the windows. Okay. Let's get our RPMs up. I think everything's set. I don't know how high to put those. I haven't checked. But I'm thinking that's going to be enough. Hit the brake. Or release the brake, rather. Kind of scooch up in my seat. Yeah, the wind's... Wow. The tail's up, definitely. I'm pulling back. We're already in the air. That's crazy. Now, would that be true of this plane? I do gotta admit, it's got the wings, and maybe with the storm. Anyways, flaps up, I think. We're... might use a little more juice. Maybe a lot more juice. Like trying to keep her trying to keep her aligned with the runway is not super easy at this point. I don't think that matters a whole lot. I think you're supposed to, but and that glare off the damn propeller, it's to die for. There's no degrees on our artificial horizon. Nothing like that, so I'm just guessing. Hey, as long as I'm above the line, I know we're climbing. There's some visibility with the ground. Well, at any rate, in a moment or two, we'll have to make our right turn and try to catch our proper
Tower
heading.
Junkers 614 frequency change. Columbus approach Junkers 614 is type Junkers JU 52 miles northeast of Rick 3,200 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Junkers 614 Columbus approach. Squawk 5202.
Squawk 5202 Junkers 614.
I wanted to get up above the storm.
Radar contact 2 miles northeast of Rick 3,800 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace. Maintain on navigation.
Yeah, well, we're visual
Cleared
the
through
whole
the
way,
Charlie
lady.
airspace Junkers 614.
We're gonna start our turn. There we are, we're getting close. In fact, I could just fly it like that. There we go, there we go, we overshot it. 15 and 15 lined up. 8 and 8, 12 and 12, looks good. No, we're losing it. I think it's the storm. It's not. So, this is the autopilot, is what I'm going for here. I know, I gotta keep checking my artificial horizon. I get too caught up with this thing. I'm turning it the wrong way. It's a real simple autopilot. Doesn't do a whole lot of work for you, but it will take some stuff off your plate, which is kind of nice. Now, I'm gonna say that's about good enough. We've got the heading on. We're gonna click autopilot on now. And she's gonna try to catch that heading. Everything else is still up to me. So, speed, altitude. In fact, let's get back up over the line. But autopilot, or this rudimentary 1939 version of it, it'll try to maintain that heading. Even if there's a terrain constraint. Not yet, sir. Not yet. You will have to wait until I'm comfortable to move about the cabin. Do you think we have stewardesses? I bet they did. I mean, it's a 16-person plane, but something tells me, like, when Goring was aboard, there was a stewardess. Of course, like Hitler and Goring and those folks, they They flew on one step up from this by War's End. But in the early years, yeah, from what I understand, this was the plane to fly on. And one of the early, in terms of commercial flight, heavier than air. This would be one of the pioneers of that. Alright, we're going to let go. I'm going to mess with the pitch. You can tell from the shadows we're starting into a dive now that I've let go. But as I adjust the pitch manually, you can see now that we're climbing. We can go up to 4 degrees, but I might stop there. We do want to double check and make sure that, yeah, it's on pitch. If you switch this clutch handle,
Columbus approach Junkers 614 is type Junkers JU52 6 miles southeast of Rick 7100
let's just identify.
Request flight following.
You switch this between flaps and pitch.
Squawk 4736 Junkers 614.
So, oh, and Rob, how are you? Good to see you. And was good to see you. I know I saw you last night post that, but in the video with JB.
Roger Junkers 614.
That was great. So again, I'm not too, I believe this is going to be our altitude. So we're at 2 kilometers. Which doesn't mean much to me. and climbing. So this is why I can let go. And I think it's the damn wings on this thing that make it so stable, unless the flight model for this is just a little too stable. You can see that the autopilot is not exactly on course. And that is not typical of the other planes in this. That is typical of this one. It tends to teeter. But it'll get us to the Charleston area so we can handle it the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you'll see it teeter between that 18 and 12. Which worried me at first. I thought, well, the plane's just doing what it's doing and the autopilot doesn't work. But then I realized, no, it is kind of working. It's almost like it's doing a balancing act. Like, it's got to overcompensate. Maybe it's so rudimentary it truly is a balancing thing. I'm sorry, I should, that's what I decided to go with. Mainly because both were the same price. The Beechcraft Model 18, which is a 1937 plane, and this one from 39. This one had, they're both the same price. This one had this version with several different liveries. It had a version with pontoons, a version with skis, and a retrofit version with modern instruments. And obviously converted to feet instead of meters. Certainly more user-friendly. And I thought, well, man, so really that's 4 planes. And then my big concern was autopilot. Like, am I going to be able to let go? And I've read up on it a little bit. And people definitely talk about how you're going to need to correct things. Like, you can't walk away for long periods of time. But that this thing flies smoothly enough that the autopilot, combined with, I guess, the wingspan, keeping it like a glider, it'd be pretty safe. And you know how I take my breaks. Yeah, I mean, I can only say, I know there's not many of them flying today, but there are some, which is nuts. In this game, I can tell you, this is very smooth. Let's go back to the stewardess's seat. I forget why I want to do that. Oh, to make sure. I feel like our flaps are still down. They were. Oh no, I'm an idiot. You know what I just did, don't you? Okay, let's do this again. Is this on? It's set to pitch again. Good. Oh. Aren't the flaps?
Junkers 614 contact Indianapolis Center on 124.45. Good day.
This is weird.
Going to
I feel like we're
124
about to be
Junkers
descending.
614.
Not rapidly or anything.
Indianapolis Center Junkers 61410,300 feet.
Unless...
Junkers 614 Indianapolis Center altimeter.
That's what it is. It's in the tail.
Continue as planned.
I was getting a little confused. Yes, my flaps were still deployed.
Junkers
From
614
takeoff.
contact Columbus approach on 1 tree, 2 decimal tree. Good day.
1 tree 2 decimal tree for Junkers 614. Columbus approach Junkers 61410,300 feet.
Very stable. Yep, very stable. Don't all your planes have autopilot? I prefer them to. I feel like, you know, you get.
124 decimal
I could
45
see
for Junkers
people
614.
playing this and being hands-on the whole time, and
Indianapolis
flying
Center
low,
Junkers
and being able to see all the stuff you can see.
614,600 feet.
And I definitely do that occasionally,
Junkers
but
614 Indianapolis Center altimeter tree
Um,
0.05. Continue as planned.
then I started flying that Airbus, and it's like I kind of appreciated the fact that I could walk away. And for me, the challenge was the landings, going through the you know, crossing all your T's, dotting all your I's with that thing. This is kind of an in-between, you know? It's like, kind of got an autopilot. Enough that I'm satisfied. I think I am descending now. We're about right on the line on the artificial horizon, actually. We're a little above it, actually. I don't know. How do you read that thing, right? Is it the wingspan lined up is what I would assume? We're pretty much there. So, that means the air's thinning out, right? And so we could adjust this a little more. Get it up to 4 degrees. And maybe that'll... Yeah. Now that's as high as it'll go, so we'll find our flight ceiling on this little leg, I think. As in terms of maintaining that heading of 152, yeah, I mean, we're close enough. It looks like straight 1.5 or class, not 1.5. Or no, I see. Okay. Oh, I see. It goes small numbers to the right, big numbers. Damn these Germans. And what is this? No, really, what is that? Oh, that'll kill the autopilot. But gee, I don't want that. Well, so far so good. My big worry for this flight, I mentioned this earlier, is once I get to Charleston, if it's going to be a VFR. I mean, it will be a VFR landing, so I just hope that, being as it's West Virginia, I hope the clouds aren't in the mountains. The corrugated skin was a game changer back then, too. Yeah, that's different. I like that, though. It's sharp. Alrighty, Rob. You won't miss much. I'm going to take a quick break, too. I'm going to switch this to brake view. Which is back here. Well, I'll save this tidbit for afterward. Be flying through a cloud, but I'm going to step away here just for a second. now that we're at a comfortable altitude, I think I can get a break. Especially after taking off in that storm. That was crazy. Alright.
Indianapolis Center Speedbird 1906 is passing flight level tree 50, descending 10,000 feet. UPS 1111, contact Indianapolis Center on 127.1. Good day. Speedbird 1906 Indianapolis Center, continue as planned. 127.1 UPS 1111.
Lovely. I mean, that's a plane that wants to fly. That is stability for sure. Although, let's see, we're at 4 kilometers. Still climbing though. Almost looked like we had leveled out, but I don't think that experience will be that passive. I think what will likely happen is we'll hit our flight ceiling and something slightly drastic will transpire. Like we'll know. Slightly drastic meaning like we just start to descend, not anything terrible. That's some rain for sure. That does not bode well. At least we're above it, but as you know, landings are the tricky part. 4 kilometers up. Can you open a window? Because I don't know how many feet that is. Well, we did it. If we all perish here in a second, you'll know why. Let's get this one open. Hell, let's open the doors. I don't think 5 kilometers is that high up. I don't know. I think that's above 10,000 feet. Yeah, I'll just leave it open. We're just barely climbing now. Stand by, I'm gonna say goodnight to the missus. Snyder Field. Oh, OU. Okay. Oh, we're still above Ohio then. I think that's what I was going to check. It's the VFR map. A little cheating, you know. Oh yeah. Got about a third of our flight behind us. Look at that. I mean, course looks great. All things considered. Plaz, how you doing? Oh, unfortunately, no movies on this flight. But good question. Because there were movies on the when I fly the Airbus. I do provide in-flight entertainment. And this is just pleasant conversation. I think I forgot to join Discord. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. We're aboard the Junkers JU-52. It's German, right? I guess most people know that. Well, people that have an interest in whatever, World War II, aviation, I guess, or what have you. Yeah, I'm impressed with the autopilot. I think it's rudimentary, but it's getting the job done. It's essentially keeping us on course, even though it's a little wobbly. Oh, what else do we got in here? This is, radio? Yeah. Well, we can't really mess with any of that. I mean, we can. Just ought not at this point. It's our center panel light. Yeah, we don't need that. Alle means both, or all, maybe. Rex and links, right and left. Some lube for yous. So altitude, yeah. Almost seems like we're holding at 4,600. Maybe we're slightly climbing. I don't know. At any rate, I'm going to see if the ATC gave us a different barometer reading. if anything needs to change. .05. Pretty sure that's what it's set to. So it hasn't changed. 305. So can I read that in the instrumentation? No, because that's the altitude. Okay. Well. I do wish there was a movie. Oh shit, I don't think I ever turned off my landing lights. Not a huge issue, but... But worth turning off. Well, that's on. Nice. It's a very, I can see why people don't like Flight Simulator. I kind of love it, though. I think it's very chill. It's a nice opening in the storm. It's not probably where we're landing. Wish this thing showed weather. About halfway. Like I said, it's an hour flight. Flight time anyways. Would be about an hour. I saw you looking at me in my boxers when I came back. Your dogs are boxers? That's cute. I can't see a damn thing. Well, okay, there was that clearing over there. I did open the window for that very reason. I like how some of the gauges... Oh, it's hard to see with the window open. I like how some of the gauges are on, like there's oil right there, and there's fuel. As if I can read that fuel out there. I guess I could if I knew how to zoom, but I don't remember how to zoom. And then we've got another oil indicator here. Honestly, it almost looks like it's in red, but... I don't know, maybe that's the way it's been the whole flight. That's what we're gonna tell ourselves. I am curious, though. Like, how many feet? We're almost at 5 kilometers. We're just barely climbing now. And for all intents and purposes, you could say we've leveled out. But, I'm gonna look up how many feet is 5 kilometers. Just curious, because flying with the windows open like that, I don't know. Did you hear about the, former Prime Minister of, Japan? That's crazy. Let's see. That's 16,000 feet. Wow, okay. We're up higher than I thought. Huh, I wonder what her ceiling is. I really want to find out, because then I'd have to restart the autopilot stuff. I don't think the plane's not, you know, through trim and speed. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to grab hold of the yoke and pull up. Curious though. Then again, see, well, and again, we're not really climbing, so let's give her some more speed. Let's give it max speed. Yeah, we're definitely climbing now. We'll find our flight ceiling. What do you say, 20,000? This is going to be my guess, 20,000 feet. I'm sure I've read it though. I don't know if that's accurate. May not quite be 20,000. Because of the air.
14 contact Indianapolis Center on 125.55. Good day.
Because the air compressor is on the center engine, brakes and other subsystems requiring pressure, the plane can operate on just that engine, but it cannot take off with just that engine. Huh. Yeah, Shinzo Abe. Yeah. Ooh, I like that it's clearing up a little bit. Fingers crossed for West Virginia. And I'm seeing a river down there. I'm thinking we're at the Ohio River. Because that's a good-sized river, so that's probably it. Meaning we're either passing into West Virginia now. I suppose if we get out our cheat sheet, that would help. Or Kentucky. And to call that, I don't feel that I'm qualified to call that. Though I suspect we're flying into Kentucky. Very briefly. No, actually no, we're not. After some reflection, no. We're just crossing into West Virginia now. And you can see there that the plane is not following the course exactly, but you can also, if you notice, it is turning itself back again. Again, it's so wobbly on this. Oh yeah, Rob, you're right. That's why West Virginia is my big concern. The elevation, the hills, especially around, God, I can't remember the name of the airport. Yeager. Maybe it's Yeager Field. It's, just real mountainous, obviously. And the clouds love to hug those mountains. And so I'm like, we get in there and it's kind of IFR landing conditions. I think I'm almost guaranteed to try to put down there. I'll use the map up there if I can to at least get the orientation of the runway down. But yeah, unfortunately, even though, well, not surprising, right? I think what's surprising is this has any autopilot function at all, as rudimentary as it is.
Zero Lima Papa contact Indianapolis
obviously
Center on
doesn't have any
124.5.
kind of
Good day.
IFR stuff. So yeah, the pressure is going to be on. Unless these clouds... I'm trying to close this, not reopen it. Unless those clouds clear up. And that's just chance and wondering what the weather is currently in Charleston in real life. I can look that up, can't I? Weather. Charleston, West Virginia. Cloudy. 73.
Korean Air 8285 contact Indianapolis Center on 127.4. Good day.
I don't know if there's rain or not. It almost doesn't matter if there's rain. This plane's not very fast. So I'm not worried. I mean, sure, I guess, I guess we, you know, I don't know. Just compared to other planes, I don't think we have to worry too much about speed on our final approach. Hell, this thing seemed to have taken off in, like, I don't know, again, I can't do the conversion between meters and feet on the fly like that, but let's just say we were not going very fast when the plane lifted off. That may have had something to do with the storm. It was very stormy when we lifted off, but I don't know. Straight flat wings don't like turbulent air for landing. I don't doubt it. Man, this thing has some wings on it. I mean, I was noting that, like, right out the gate, it was kind of apparent how crazy large the wings are on this thing. I mean, considering what it is, you know, considering it's a 16-person plane, which screams bus to me, you know? Partially, it's maybe it's got to do with the door being there, another door in the back.
Going to 127 decimal for Junkers 614.
The luggage compartments.
Indianapolis Center, Junkers 614 flight level 200.
The seats,
Continue as planned.
I was talking to my wife about this, and she says, so was it fancy, or is it fancy? And I told her, I don't know how to answer that. Like, yes and no. Like, for the time, I would think it's kind of fancy, but then I also told her it screams bus. The weird thing is, the Beechcraft Model 18, which is, you know, again, built in 1937, it seems fancy. I mean, the inside of it seems very nice. It's got little tables that fold out. It's just got nice upholstery and all that. Of course, this seems more utilitarian. I kind of recall that the Beechcraft Model 18's cockpit is not very, yeah, I don't know if it's got the same kind of upholstery and stuff. I'd have to check. But considering this one's attachment to the history of, like, passenger flight, commercial flight, because I mean, they operated after the war. I mean, like I said, some are still flying today, but in terms of commercial aviation, despite my inclinations, I don't have to associate this plane with World War II. But I could certainly picture paratroopers jumping out of that door. Man, got to love that yoke, though. Polished wood riveted to the steel backing. And might as well put it on there as I read that. Polished wood riveted to the steel backing and left in the raw when oiled for use. I love that look.
Generic 7, Bravo Zulu, contact Indianapolis.
Yeah, that is
Center,
nice.
125,
I mean, even down to the
Good day.
leather there, you know, you even got the zipper for the leather, or for the leather.
125.55, generic 7,
Yeah.
Bravo Zulu.
Yeah, it is good looking. I like it, and it's hard to call it fancy, but at the same time, the nostalgia level and the you're right. The wheel is, I would classify that as kind of fancy. The chairs look better than they do in the Boeing. What is it? The 747 that they have in the game. I mean, I think on realism, fortunately, you look at the chairs on the 747, and it's like, holy shit! I'm gonna bring my own cloth and lay it on the chair and sit on it that way, because this chair's got rips in it and stuff like that. But then I'm like, that's probably authentic. That these things are used around the clock. So yeah, there's some wear and tear, I'm sure, but it's just one of those little details I like that they added. Whereas on the Airbus, it almost looks too good. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a 16 to 18 passenger aircraft from the time, but it was really a military transport masquerading as a passenger. Yeah, that I don't doubt it. However, after the war, it continued in that capacity. I mean, when you only have that many, God, I'm thinking like in 1946, what are American passenger carriers? Like, how many people are they moving, you know? Like, I'd hazard to guess more than 18. Of course, with this configuration, let's see. Why is the plane... That seemed like a drastic... Oh, because I had the wrong thing on. Okay. I think we're okay, autopilot. Despite its... Jesus. Okay, let's kill the autopilot. Turn it off. That was my fault. I still had things set to flight controls when I was walking around the back. So essentially, I'm trying to look at something, and by looking at it, the whole plane did that. And then we were so off course. That's another thing I've noticed about this autopilot. Is it before you engage it, you should pretty much be on course anyways. Like, unlike the other planes where it's just like, yeah, shit, I'll turn your plane around and get it going. So that's on. Shit, I probably should have killed that first. It's probably stupid, but I'm turning the autopilot on and off and on again. I don't know if we've blown it with that. I don't think we did. It looks like autopilot's back on task. I'm not. Yeah, instead of the pilot walking back there, just go to stewardess mode. And then why the hell wasn't I? Why was I back here anyways? I was just looking around while I was talking. It's just those chairs look so rudimentary. I mean, yes, comfortable. That pillow there, that I classify as fancy. It's just the frame that they're on. Almost how they have like a grab bar in front of you. Oh, I was going to count. Let's see what this particular loadout would... So you got two. I don't know if that's flight crew or people. Probably either or, right? Maybe they're jump seats. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then, well, pilot and co-pilot. And that's pretty crammed. That's the other thing that, like, this can't be representative of the maybe it is. Maybe it is representative of the amount of legroom they would have. I don't know. Seems awful tight. Nope, nope, nope. Up here. Sure, this will work. Oh. We're looking at clouds, all right. They might be higher than the mountains, though. Oh, they've kind of thinned out a little bit. This might not be so bad. Okay, so we're gonna start by peeling back on the RPMs. And hell, that'll do most of the work in terms of our descent. For now, anyways. We are coming into this descent a little late. It just does not look that bad below us, though. That's a good deal. Problem is, we're going to pick up so much airspeed. Yep, okay. Well, let's get on the trim. That'll work. -2 degrees. I gotta see this from the passenger point of view. Like, and yeah, we'll end up damaging the plane. It's a lot of forces on her. Our speed was, oh man, we maxed out there. It wouldn't tell us what speed we were going. Maxed out at, what is that? 350. Whoa. There's Charleston up ahead, I believe. Or maybe it's over there, I don't know. It's time to start figuring that shit out, I guess, isn't it? It's time for a few things I didn't do.
Indianapolis Center, Junkers 614.
Oh, they want us
Request
to land
clearance
from
to
this.
transition Charlie airspace.
We're gonna leave that open.
Junkers 614 Indianapolis Center. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through Charlie airspace, Junkers 614.
Alright, I said speed wouldn't be an issue with this thing, but now we gotta burn off some speed. I might just dive. Well, I am diving pretty substantially, but so no, we're not gonna add to that. Oh yeah, we will. Looks like a lovely day. So yeah, that descent was a little steeper than it should have been. No question there. Especially when we maxed out the speed there. The dive bomber view, yep. I even tried to get it to you from the passenger of the dive bomber, which is a rare thing, right? Get under this cloud. It's weird coming into this without ATC. Big chimney. That sounds like a mountaintop. Sounds like a volcano, but I don't think there's any volcanoes in West Virginia that we're aware of. Okay. I can't really read this, but... Jeez. The air is still very choppy. But we gotta let go for a second. No! Rain? Or just, it's just clouds, isn't it? Oh, that cleared up nice and quick. I do not... Wait, is that...
Charleston Tower Junkers
That's the
614 is 4
runway.
miles northeast 1,400 feet with uniform to land.
Junkers 614, Charleston Tower. Altimeter 29.96, wind 19 tree at 4. Make straight in runway 2 tree.
Nope, I can't change the altimeter. It doesn't matter anyways.
Clear to land runway 2 tree.
Doesn't matter anyways, because we got the runway in sight. And this is not bad at all. This is... I might still botch it, but...
Junkers 614, please acknowledge.
Co-pilot, acknowledge them. Like, I seriously did click it, so you're supposed to do that. I can't acknowledge them. Fuck it. Well, we'll do what she told us to do, whether we talk to her about it or not.
Junkers 614, did you hear my last transmission?
I don't know why he's not answering you. This is Captain Otto. My co-pilot is incapacitated, I believe. And so, yes, we heard you, but no, I did not digest anything that you said. Okay, we've got landing gear.
Junkers
No deploying it.
614, did you copy?
Lady, I'm coming in for a landing. You can expect me shortly. Kill the gas. Let's just go to idle. We're too high. We'll put down on the front 2 wheels.
Junkers 614 ATC services
Shut up.
terminated.
Oh yeah, okay. Thanks, lady. This is not bad, this is not bad. Running out of runway, but... Oh, that was not great. This is not good. It's not terrible either. I mean, we're stopping eventually here, right? The wind keeps pushing me back up, I think. I don't know. It's my bad piloting's to blame as well, but the wind. And now I'm afraid to stop because I'm going to nose over. Every time I hit the brake, I start to... Let's get off the runway. something weird going on with the graphics here. Either way, like I said, get off the runway. Let's get the RPMs up to 10. Well, it was a pretty shitty landing, but at the same time, I didn't have to do a go around or anything like that. It was a little disconcerting listening to her during that. But I don't know. For some reason, the co-pilot decided to quit doing his job. This is why I wish they had shared cockpit on console. They don't. Just on PC. And for that matter, I think it's a mod. Yeah, we'll get turned around and get off their tarmac. I like the overhead window, opening it to increase the drag, lowering the speed. There you go. I just figured the air was nice. Getting some of that mountain air. but yeah. We could have used some more drag, you know, for sure. Congratulations, the ground did not destroy it. Well, we're about to go off-road. Damn. I mean, we're just going to. I'll park over there. That's fine. You can definitely drive a junkers over there, or yunkers over the grass. ATC keeps calling it junkers. They just... I should have spelled it with a Y when I put it in as my call name. Little bounce there. Little bounce. Oh, wow. So we made it.
Hey, Otto. What the hell are you doing?
How you doing, Gary? How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty well. Just got done sailing.
How was your...
We're doing some stuff, and I was like, hey, I'll see what Otto's up to.
Just flying.
Flying, huh?
Yeah, out here on the
In person.
the virtual skies.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, we got Gary in here. We got Rob in the chat.
Nice.
And a lurker. There's a lurker somewhere. Well, that might be it.
Lurkers, they'll get you every time.
Yeah, they will.
Alright, well, I'm going to step away real quick, and I'll come right back. Just got to go to the restroom.
Sounds good. I may not be here when you get back. If so, I'm just grabbing a smoke. Because
Alright.
I just got this puppy on the ground.
No problem.
Cool. Well, there we go. All the props are off. And we have landed for leg one of our journey. This is a sharp plane, though. Hell, I guess you'd let the passengers out at the very back, wouldn't you? Very sharp plane. Okay, I'm going to leave it on that for a moment. But, gonna go grab a smoke. I think the next leg is gonna be, I don't know, we'll look at the map. I don't want to make it an hour flight, because, I mean, it could go up to I guess it could be an hour. I was thinking of going for 3 hours, and we're at an hour and a half. I don't know. We'll see what cities that puts us in proximity of. I essentially want to head east towards the coast, I guess. Alright, be right back. Alrighty. Gary back yet? Negatory. Otto, don't know if I mentioned it before. I'm a certified small UAV pilot for the... Yeah, no, I have heard that. That's cool. That's like, yeah, it's more than I've done in the air. I haven't even flown a drone. Well, I guess that is a drone, but it's a fancy one. Now, I wish I could do my flight plan here. But I can't. Oh, well, no, I should bring the session to a close appropriately. That way it kind of puts it in my logbook that I've made that flight. And I'd want to do that by turning the battery off. Right? That didn't do it? This is weird. So, why am I? Hold on here. What is that? Just ignition, right? It's the starter. Okay. I turned all these magnetos off. Master starter is off. Well, I did something wrong. Maybe I did it in the wrong order or some shit. I don't know. Well, I guess this won't be recorded in my log. That's kind of shit. Oh well, I know I did it. It's a drone with a flight plan. Nice. So, we're in Charleston at this point. We want to... And I already did the startup, so we're just going to set it as normal departure, meaning we will not be starting cold and dark. We'll be starting on the runway fired up. The range on this thing is not bad. I mean, considering 1939, it's got some range. But we're not going to take advantage of all that range. We want this next leg to be comparable to our first leg, which was from Columbus to Charleston. I'm thinking right off the bat, Roanoke jumps out. I don't know what... These are just mountaintops, right? Yeah. Can't really land there. Roanoke, Lynchburg... Maybe Kingsport, but that's not getting us closer to the East Coast. I'm thinking Roanoke. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Set that as arrival. And I think I'm gonna again make it a simple trip. That is to say, like VFR, direct GPS, as opposed to VOR to VOR or either of the IFR approaches. With the big planes, big modern planes, IFR approaches, because then if it's cloudy, you can, if you do it right, which I don't always do, you can get the plane to land itself more or less. But with this, considering we're going off of visual anyways, who was flying around Washington? Actus Cactus. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does show you friends that are flying around as well. It'll also show you where friends have last played, like I don't see any around, but nor do I know how long that stays. Because I've contacted people like, oh shit, so you're flying right now? You're in They're like, no, but that's where I landed last night.
Are you still flying?
Well, I'm on the ground now. I'm setting up the next leg.
Okay.
I flew Columbus to Charleston, West Virginia, and now it's looking like Charleston to Roanoke, Virginia.
You have to like fuel up or something?
I could have done that. I didn't. I quit out, and then I'll just spawn in Charleston, where I just landed.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do that. You could taxi up to the gate and ask for fuel and all that stuff. The only thing is, I can't figure out how to make the next flight plan. Like I don't know how to do that in game.
I have to admit, I don't either.
Yeah, I can do it. You have to do it to start a game, but then I'm like, well, what if you want to go somewhere else? And I'm pretty sure there is kind of a way, because for a little bit I was sometimes I'll be flying somewhere and I'll get bored and be like, oh, I'm gonna call it a night or whatever. But I've got 20 minutes to land, and so I figured out how to contact the nearest airport and get cleared for landing there. But that's not the same as a flight plan, because I gotta be able to get to the vicinity of the airport.
True.
Which I need the flight plan for. Ahoy there, Caspa. How you doing? Good to see you. So how was sailing tonight?
It was eventful.
Oh yeah? That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we spent the majority of the night without enough supplies to really do what we need to be able to do. And then the one time that we did have the supplies, we didn't feel like messing around with the Reaper 5 because we were going to do Athena quest. So we went through the portal. We were going to try to server hop, and then it locked up on us, so we had to quit the game and start over. So we lost all the supplies that we had, and we were loaded, ready to go.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Yeah, so then we had to basically start over, and we did the Athena quest, and somebody tried to steal it, and it was Al rowed a rowboat with the actual Athena chest, like 4 islands down to get to a port to sell it, so we could actually get credit for it. So it was an experience. It was pretty cool though.
Nice. But she got away with it then.
Yeah. So that worked out well. Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was able to get away with it, and we got the credit for it. I mean, we didn't get all the loot. We just got the one, but the one was all that really mattered.
Right, yeah, the Athena's chest is it. So then, did you have to fight a crew undermanned?
Yeah, well, and the sad thing was they were in a sloop, and they were kind of kicking our butt because we didn't have enough. We got sunk, and we didn't have enough to fight back and all that kind of stuff because we were kind of in disarray. And yeah, but I mean, it ultimately it worked out for the most part. But yeah, it was entertaining. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a good time nonetheless. And you played with Hawk, right?
Yeah, he played for a while, and then Strawn came in and replaced him
yeah.
after Hawk had to leave. So yeah, we got to play with Hawk and Strawn.
Nice. That's good to see Hawk back at it, and that's awesome. That
Yeah, he said it's been like a couple months. So
that's awesome that Strawn got into. He was asking me about sailing, and I'm like, I just bought this new plane. I gotta play it.
right?
It happens once you spend the money. It's like,
Yeah, if you're spending actual money on it, you gotta do it, right?
yeah,
It's like mandatory.
yeah, I agree. It's that fresh out of the box kind of thing too. Altimeter needs to be 30.02. So have you ever played this or?
I've played this 15 to 20-ish years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's significantly different, and I've never played it on Xbox. So yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. I guess you reminded me. I just watched a video recently that was the evolution of Flight Simulator. Just like a few seconds from each iteration of the game.
Yeah,
and
I
oh
think
my
I played the
god.
first one.
Yeah, the first one was just all like, I don't know how to describe those lines. You know what I'm talking about? The way everything was done with just like lines, like whether you're
Yeah.
playing a submarine game or a plane game. Yeah,
Yep.
it was. It's kind of crazy how much it took off. No pun intended with take off. So not a big sell tonight, but more Athena's credit is good, I think.
Yeah, like I'm only like level 5 in Athena, so anything I can get out of it, I'm like happy.
Yeah, I'm somewhere around there too. I'm level 4 or 5. I barely ever. Well, you know, I don't grind, so I don't.
Right.
I never knock out like a level and like
Yeah,
on
and
purpose.
I just don't play enough to really be able to do anything with it. Like the really bad part was the fact that we had lost our emissary flag while we were trying to do it. So like we would have got obviously more credit for it if we would have been able to keep the emissary flag.
That's true, but still, the Athena save is kind of a win in its own right.
Yeah, I mean you get the accommodation for actually finishing that voyage and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, fun over content is correct, RP.
That's right. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
as long as you have a good time. I mean, the when we first came in, we got kind of tore up by a Reaper 5, and like they were talking smack as they were killing us.
Oh,
And,
good.
yeah,
God, I
and
love
I
that.
mean, I'm all for you like killing me, you know, but give me a good game or whatever. Sit
Yeah.
there and say something that like nobody could understand what they were actually saying. It sounded like black, black, black or something. I don't know. And it was just like, look, if you're gonna talk smack, like, you know, come on, you're taking a little bit of fun out of the game. Like, just acknowledge the fact that, you know, I'm more than happy to acknowledge the fact that you killed me fair and square. Like, you bested me, that's great. But, you know, you don't have to like kind of be a douche about it, you know.
Right, no doubt. I only truly enjoy the shit talking when we're beating the crap out of them when they're shit talking. Then it can be humorous. When they're
Right.
beating me and shit talking, I'm kind of like, man, this is just like adding insult to injury.
Right. Like
Gosh.
if everybody's doing a little bit of shit talking, it's all, you know, because you know it's all in fun and whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, like I think it was last weekend, right, when we had and
Oh,
Rob was
yeah.
there when we had the people using the racial slurs.
Yeah, we got to play with
You know.
KKK Jr.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's when you do some serious shit talking in those situations, because it's deserved.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Oh, that was a smooth takeoff. That'll work. We're off the ground of Charleston, West Virginia.
Sweet. Where are we flying to?
This is the party plane. We don't remember. Oh, Raleigh.
Oh, we're going to Raleigh.
Charleston
Okay.
Tower Junkers 614.
Virginia,
continue
yep,
west
yep.
departure.
Yeah. Okay.
Caught me off guard there. None of us have any business in Raleigh. That's probably why.
Flight plan. What are you talking about? Flight plan.
And Rob says that will be an underdone turkey auto. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm a little worried Because I don't know if you mean like I didn't pay much attention when taking off, or if it has nothing to do with that. West Virginia is lovely down there, I think.
That's the story they like to tell.
Yeah, that's all we can do is imagine, because we sure as shit can't see it. I just need to keep climbing, I guess. There's got to be a point where, like, where we can see would be awesome. I mean, the plane was built in '39. I don't think it's going to tell us about any mountains.
Jumpers 614, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Or if it does tell us about mountains, it'll be
Charleston
way
Tower
too
Junkers
big.
614 frequency change.
Yeah, like, do you
Charleston
have
approach
any
Junkers
idea of like
614 is type
elevation
Junkers
you should be
JU
striving
52 miles
for?
southwest of Jaeger 3,000
Unfortunately,
feet.
like I don't know any elevation. I don't know what the peaks are at, but it wouldn't matter anyways. See, because everything's written in German, and they're using the metric system. Yeah. So I don't even know how many feet in the air we are right now. I know
That's
that we're
convenient.
yeah, we're 1.2 kilometers high.
That should be high enough to smack right in the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Charlie airspace Junkers 614.
And if that confuses anybody and you want to kind of eyeball how high up we are, well, sorry. there's there's no ground.
Interesting enough, when I was in the military, one of the last jobs I did was calibration work, and we used to have to calibrate all the altimeters and barometers and all the other gauges that the and we didn't have to actually calibrate the gauges, but we had to calibrate the test set that they would use, the standard test set that they would use against all of the helicopter gauges.
Oh damn!
So yeah, so that was kind of a fun, interesting concept of going through, and you'd have to make sure the altimeter was correct and all the other stuff was correct. And yeah, it was kind of a neat experience.
That would be kind of cool. I didn't even know what an altimeter was until
Yeah,
I started playing this.
altometer.
Altometer, okay. There's that. There's auto. Nope, that's anti-ice. No, that's not how.
RP says, you typed into chat 136 degrees, a reminder to myself. That will be an underdone cookie. Yeah, it might take you a while to finish that turkey at 136 degrees. I think you're supposed to shoot for like 160 or something, so.
Okay, well that doesn't have me as much. That's a good deal. Oh shit, and it's clearing up.
What do you start with, a Piper in this game?
You start with a, God, what is it? A Cessna.
Oh, that'd be really cool if like you started with like a paraglider or whatever, you know, those, whatever those ones are, where there's just like basically a glider with a lawnmower engine. And,
yeah.
Like you start with that and then you move up. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, in a way, they kind of... Yeah, those are some dark clouds. That's weird looking. In a way, I mean, the Cessna they start, you know, it's definitely an older model. It seems like it's out of the 70s or something like that. But
Probably is.
But then, like, the next step up has, you know, what they call a glass cockpit, where it's got all the touchscreen stuff. And so in a weird way, it's like you go through, you have to do the Cessna and flight training, and then, like, as soon as you fly on your own, you're like, well, I'll try a different plane, and then you realize, like, I might as well go through training with this plane, even though they won't let me, because I'm kind of back at square one. But I suppose they teach you the basics of flying with that Cessna. But then to be like, here, now put in a flight plan and get autopilot all fired up, and you know what I mean? Like that, they don't really teach you all that.
Right.
So aggravating, but this is Yonkers JU52. I don't know if I shared that with you yet.
That was one of the things. I like how you can label it, put your name on there.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that on the first flight simulator that I played was the fact that like I just jumped right in and I was flying like a Boeing 737.
Yeah.
And like I'm having to call the tower to get clearance to take off and all this crap. Like, talk about overwhelming. It was
right.
like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're expecting me to do all this other stuff? Like, yeah, you give me a cheat sheet in the they back when they actually used to give you the cards, give you the cheat sheet of all the buttons to press and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like having to prop it up so I can see it and everything else. This is back when my screen was a CRT and not a LCD, for those that are old enough to remember that crap. But yeah, that was quite the experience. I was like, talk about panic, like totally freaking out.
Yeah, that hasn't changed, as you probably well know. I can see why some people can study on it. Like some of the downloadable planes will say in the description, this is a study plane. Like, so this is a plane that if you're wanting to fly this plane, it wouldn't hurt you to fly it on here. Most of them are not, it seems. I don't know. But to me, that's kind of crazy when they have all that functionality in a sim.
Yeah. It's like, just give me the simple stuff, right?
Because in a way, it makes it hard to. There's a lot of games we could throw in Fall Guys and all play it, but it's hard to just jump into Flight Sim because it's like.
Yeah, you have to build up to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Rob says it would be hilarious if you started with one of those Far Cry 6 homemade aircraft made with individual fans and farm motors.
Far Cry 6, yeah.
It would be some hilarious stuff. And Casper says
the storm is awesome.
1200.
It's crazy looking. The way the clouds are all built up on top of
the
existing layer.
I thought it was a mountain.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is, like, we're looking at that thing forever, and, like, you're still not even close to it.
Right, yeah. And allegedly that's really happening right now. Although it's not daylight. I did change that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this thing has interior lights. Yeah, it does, I guess. I wonder how they pulled off autopilot on this plane.
It just locks the rudder and the ailerons and whatnot, and just says, there you go.
I wondered, yeah, like, is it that, or does it have a compass in it, and it's just got to make sure that needle's in the right space and does everything, you know what I mean? Like, because all it does in this plane is maintain a heading. It won't speed you up, slow you down, change your altitude. But it'll keep your plane pointed in the right direction, more or less. It's constantly correcting itself, whereas like the Airbus, it's like it's on course, you know. But it's weird. It just makes me wonder, like, they've got this little thing under it with a bubble in it, and that bubble will bounce around, and you want it to be center. And I'm like, I don't understand it, but I wonder if that's got something to do with it. Then that it's something that small that.
That's awesome.
It's kind of genius. Like, I would have never guessed that.
Do they get to the point where you can actually get like passengers and stuff, or?
No, that'd be sweet. You can
fly.
Right. You can simulate passengers, but all that is you're basically putting their weight aboard your plane.
Right.
I think they should have avatars.
Yeah, I mean, actually having avatars and like, you want to do It'd be kind of cool to like have to like actually get people to, so like if you wanted to have your own, let's say like Air Alaska type of thing, right?
Yeah.
You're like you're a bush plane pilot and you're trying to make a living or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Fuck, we're flying into this thing.
Do it.
I mean, I imagine it's not dangerous. It's just clouds, but it just looks. If I'm looking up the side, it looks like a fucking tidal wave. It's not going to make the game any more exciting for you viewers out there. Isn't it, Casper? I would not be willing to fly into that. Well, damn, now I feel silly. I feel like they should take some of the historic planes that very few pilots will ever be able to fly and make flight models for them to fly in games so that people can experience them. Interestingly enough, they're doing their 40th anniversary in November, so they're adding, I want to say it's like 6 to 8 planes, and it's free if you own the game or own Game Pass. But some iconic planes are in there. I don't know how much use you get out of them. Like the Wright Flyer is in there. I want to say the Spirit of St. Louis is in there.
Very cool.
Not the DC-6. Maybe it is. It's something like that, but a classic American airliner.
Is it DC-6 would be cool?
Yeah, it would. Helicopters, which I don't know how many helicopters they're adding, but I believe it's 6 to 8 new planes. Rob says primitive autopilots had a dedicated compass that was the primary source of the path of the aircraft, but if it deviated from the pilot's compass by more than 2 degrees, an alarm would alert the pilot. Oh shit, so it was pretty much.
Yeah, so its whole job was like, hey, you're off course.
Yeah.
You need to correct it.
You need to fix it. Right.
Yeah. I ain't doing shit, motherfucker.
We still have a fair amount of flying time. Thanks for coming aboard, by the way.
You are welcome. They need to, like, get some rain on the windshield and have it streaming along the side and whatnot. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, they do. We're just not in it, luckily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like some of the planes have windshield wipers, which...
Heavy
like,
clouds, not so much rain.
Yeah, I don't know why we're not. Maybe we're too high up. I bet down beneath us it's raining.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
they're so accurate. They even show the ribs on the ribbed air wings.
Yeah, I love that. What the hell just happened? Oh, we flew out of the clouds like suddenly. That's what happened. Or something. Okay, that was impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I don't know what just transpired, but I'm looking at my clock, and it reads that the year is 2021. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
Yeah, something in that cloud sent us far into the future.
You just went through the Bermuda Triangle and you didn't even realize it.
Exactly. Yeah, shit just cleared up big time.
That's
like
some crazy stuff right there.
Impossibly.
Just saw it on the stream and it was just like
yeah.
cloud, clear.
And then I look behind us and there's no big clouds back there.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, just forget about what you were just looking at. Don't mind us. Don't look behind the curtain.
I also have to mention the man in the furry costume on the wing. Don't look at him either.
You're right.
New River Gorge. That's in 76, isn't it?
There is a gorge. I don't remember what it's called though.
I think it is New River Gorge.
Was that in Superman? Don't look, just fly.
That has got to be the bridge. So the bridge in 76, the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's hardly visible, but it's down there. That would be New River Gorge. God, I'm almost about to disconnect the autopilot and fly under that. I think that
You should.
I think that
I
might
think
be
you
necessary.
can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pull it off. I got faith.
Autopilot emergency stop. We'll shut it off.
You'd have to have heavy rain for this plane to have windshield rain effects. The prop wash should keep the windshield clear.
Oh yeah.
Rob, you know way too much about this shit.
Well, I wondered why it didn't have window wipers. Because a lot of the planes, even some of the older ones, seem to have windshield wipers.
1.9 for Junkers 614. Charleston approach Junkers
Oh, I should adjust the trim.
12,500 feet.
Yeah.
Junkers 614 Charleston.
Just go.
He said, yeah, just that trim.
Junkers 614 contact Indianapolis Center
Don't
on 127
just
decimal.
fly.
Good day.
Alright, this will be an uncomfortable dive,
Going to
but
127 decimal for Junkers 614.
Turn off the autopilot.
Indianapolis Center,
With
Junkers
auto
614,
pilot.
11,500
That's right.
feet.
we're just transferring from one autopilot to the other.
Nicely done there, Rob.
Continue as planned.
That's not inconvenient to have to adjust that fucking wheel. Get out of your seat, adjust your flaps.
I know, right? No problem. It's down the hallway to the left. Yeah, like,
Run to the back of the plane to adjust your adjust your ailerons.
landing gear, there's a hatch, a topside hatch. It's outside.
Alright. Yeah. First you have to clip in.
Can you fly under this bridge? Is there a gap?
If there's not, I always thought there should have been.
Yeah, there's about to be.
There will be by the time we're done.
We'll slow down. Got nothing in terms of flaps. We can fly under this. All right. I see vault survivors fighting on top of it right now.
Rob says, Gary, I know a little about a lot, but not a lot about much. Rob, you and me both, buddy.
Same here. You can add me to that list. Oh yeah, this is an easy bridge to fly under.
You got your 50 cal ready to fire away, or your 30 cal?
Yeah, bridge busting. Now, flying under this next bridge, that's the trick. No, that's...
Did you go a bridge too far?
What's that?
A bridge too far?
I think so, yeah.
Operation Market Garden, for those that don't know much about their World War II history.
Sean Connery, if you don't know
much
much
like
about
it.
your cinema.
Exactly, yeah. You did make it. Congrats.
I think Anthony Hopkins was in that, too.
Yeah. I think, wasn't Sir Alec Guinness in there, too?
I don't doubt it. That sounds about right.
So, Rob says, in practice, the pilot just reached down with his right hand to adjust the flaps. No, Rob, I don't think you understand. This is a simulator. You had to get out of your seat. Just like Otto has to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is tough. It's possible, though. I guess I don't totally have to stop hovering above the seat. Because let's face it, I'm not sitting, I'm hovering above it. I'm a camera. That's all. The co-pilot doesn't exist.
You are a prop for the GoPro. We
That's all.
understand.
Well, I guess I can get us back on course.
You're right, Rob. It would be a 20 millimeter in a German plane.
125 decimal for Junkers
And
614.
considering the fact that we're talking about
Charleston
taking
approach
down
Junkers
a West
614,
Virginia
3,500 feet.
bridge, it would be a German plane.
Yeah. It was a common occurrence during the war in West Virginia. Below the Point Pleasant Bridge. Little known fact. German bomber.
That's right.
I mean, Mothman sounds like a great story. German bomber's more believable. Our climb looks too steep. Maybe I'll fix that. Okay, now we're descending. Either way, we are back on course. Happy days are here again. When the troops took the blame for the poor planning at higher headquarters.
Yeah, the fact that they just totally snafu'd the whole intel for that entire mission. No, those are old, busted up, burned out tanks. Don't worry about those. Right.
Yep.
Well, and then the troops, like on the British side, yeah, they kind of screwed themselves. They're like, it's 3 o'clock. It's, tea time.
Tea time.
They just stop. Yeah, they just stop and have some tea and a little bit of brandy or whatever it was. And, oh yeah, it's time to stop. I mean, this is what we do. I've read a couple books where they're like, the Americans were just like, come on, you guys need to show a little bit of urgency here. And
right.
The British didn't have that urgency level.
That is nuts. But bad intel. I mean, the Battle of the Bogs. Those troops that the Germans threw at us, they didn't exist.
Right.
I mean,
well, and then the Germans that were there, like, had they realized, like one of the things that I had seen and read about was the fact that the Germans, they'd attack from one side and then we would be able to retaliate because we had like one set of artillery and we'd fire back, and then they'd be like, oh, they're pretty defensive there, and then they'd wait like a whole nother half a day, and then they'd attack from the other side or a different angle or whatever, and then we'd fire back with the same artillery, and they thought we had multiple artillery, and they're like, well, we can't come from that direction. And that was like how the whole thing played out. They thought we had a crap ton of artillery in there, and they're like, no, we can't penetrate because they have too much artillery. And so they're like constantly trying to probe basically and find the weak spot, and we were just able to traverse our artillery to the right spot quick enough that they thought it was multiple guns, and it was always the same guns over and over and over again. And that was like one of the main things that allowed us to win at the Battle of the Bulge.
wow. Huh, yeah, I guess I didn't know that. Rob says Mothman tried to warn us about the Ju-52, but the news media covered it up and made it into the bridge collapse story. Yep, and Mothman paid the price. He was the fall guy. Fall moth, man.
You always have to have the fall Mothman.
Yep. The Poles were left to slaughter while the Brits ended up withdrawing. Yeah.
Yep.
Did Sean Connery play a Pole in that? Or was he? No, he was British in that.
No, he was one of the British. He was one of the. What do they call them? They had the Red Berets.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the unit was called.
Yeah, just thinking of the poster I seen in that Red Beret.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, you mind taking the controls for a moment? I'm gonna grab another smoke.
Yeah, no problem. I'll tuck her in and put her on the
Excellent.
on the runway.
That's another thing. That's what I really wish this game had was shared cockpit. They
that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
They do have it on PC, but I think it's a mod. But yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's so practical for the game too. Because just where I was landing in Charleston there, ATC's like, okay, what, you didn't hear what we said, or please acknowledge what we said. I couldn't do that. There's no way I could turn on ATC. You definitely need a second person in some cases. And then I think also in the middle of that, she told me what to change my barometer to. And I'm like, I can't do that right now. That's
Right.
under my seat in a box.
Yeah. Having the co-pilot to be able to do that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, I will be right back.
I think I will too. Please enjoy the rumizations of RP games.
Jumpers 614 contact Indianapolis Center on 119er decimal 475. Good day.
Going to 119er decimal for 7 flight Junkers 614. Indianapolis Center, Junkers 614, 12,300 feet.
Jumpers 614 Indianapolis Center altimeter 30.02. Continue as planned.
Oh, I'm back. A mixture of war movies and war history is my weakness. Yes, I can relate. It's my weakness for sure.
Going to
So
134
much
decimal for Junkers
useless
614.
information,
Washington
considering
Center, Junkers 614,
I'm no
13,800 feet.
military officer, right? You know, but
614 Washington Center altimeter 30.01. Continue as planned.
boy, I've learned some of the lessons of it. Only there was a practical application other than video games for me. We might have reached our... No. We're 4.5 kilometers. I wonder if we're halfway through our trip.
Washington Center.
Yeah,
generic November
I'd say we are.
125 X-ray Papa is passing flight level tree 20 descending 4,800 feet. Generic November 125 X-ray Papa Washington.
And
Center.
I guess that's the other thing. I can speed up time, but I don't want to do that with this plane, I don't think. Beyond once I do it, I'll never stop. But I also don't see a working clock, which I always... There's gotta be one here. Is that it? Sure looks like a clock. Yep, there's the seconds. Still, I'm not gonna do it. Bears, good to see you, man. Says Captain Otto has fallen asleep, driving our passenger plane to the Bear Tropics, where everyone's bare naked. He didn't say that, I did. Get your parachutes ready, we're gonna die. Oh, shit. If we're getting out parachutes, stewardess, if you will. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right this way? How she opened the door that way, I don't know. God, that'd be terrifying.
Hi, Beers.
Beers? I always call them Bears, but Beers is a cooler name.
But maybe it is Bears. Bears to Lusos.
He might go for Beers, too. Would you go for Beers? Man, looking straight down.
Who knows? Kim Mitchell go for soda. That's a great.
Greenbrier. Isn't that where? Oh, what did Fallout 76 teach me about Greenbrier?
It's the only good place to drop a nuke in all of West Virginia.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Do we have any nukes aboard? They didn't give us a nuke in Charleston, did they? Sons of bitches.
Bastards.
So you're looking forward to the captaincy update for Sea of Thieves?
I am. I think it's going to be kind of cool. The fact that I don't know how they're going to handle a lot of the stuff, you know, like the customization of the captain's area and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that it will be customized at all is kind of cool. And
I agree.
You'll finally be able to name all of your ships. Whether or not you can name each individual, say, galleon and sloop and brig. Whether or not you could name all three of them something separate or different, I don't know. I don't know if... Caspa thinks that they'll probably do, like, levels. So you'll, like, you know, kind of like Athena, where you have to build it up or whatever, which is fine, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just the idea that they're doing some of that stuff is kind of cool. Hopefully, you just don't step up and like, captaincy, you can be a captain now, and then you can, because one of the things is you can quick sell and all that kind of stuff, and like hopefully it's like not automatic to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Or do some quest or something like it.
What do you have any idea what you would name their ship?
I don't yet, and if I can name each type of ship, I'll have to come up with 3 names, and I'll have to work for that. I mean, obviously you've already got yours named, and I haven't even come close to thinking about it. My daughter's got one of hers at least named, because she's got a bird that is cordon bleu, and so
Nice.
she's gonna name it like chicken or something like that. So it's gonna be like chicken cordon bleu. So yeah, at least one of them's gonna be named Chicken.
Nice.
Yeah.
This bear could go for a beer, but how would I put on the parachute while drunk? Oh, we'll put it on for you. You just gotta trust us.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't worry.
Bears
We've
also
got the helm.
right. You'll be fine, Bears. Says, don't let RP Games name anything. He might name his ship the Shanae. we know how RP likes to bring up the Shanae. It's always a concern. Oh, I wonder what the weather's like in Raleigh. I think there's a way I can find out. Maybe. Nearest airport list, although that's probably not even on the list. Oh, Raleigh County Memorial. Like, whatever. That's got the word Raleigh in it. But I'm not getting any audio off of it. Okay. Well, we'll find out when we get there. Or I'll just Google what the weather's like there.
I think it's pretty cool though that they, it's like real life type weather.
Yeah, I do too. It's helpful. I mean, there's a lot of little things. Some people will come up with a flight plan using an app that pilots can use, and it will give them the numbers that they can type into their game. Another thing that people do is each runway at each airport has some kind of code, and I don't know really what I'm talking about here, but you can Google that code, put it into your flight computer if you're flying like the Airbus or big Boeing plane or something, and it'll work. It'll help your autopilot get you there with less work.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's a very chill game, which can be good and bad. To see how people can get bored with it, but to me, the amount of innovation with it, it blows my mind.
Sometimes it's kind of nice to just play a nice chill game, though.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not necessarily worried about fighters lining up behind me and gunning me down.
Right.
That said, I don't really have any treasure on board, and to your point about passengers, that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, like if you could set up like an actual business.
Yeah.
Be able to try to either take cargo or passengers from point A to point B, that'd be kind of cool.
And you could fly, obviously, the soul of the game is flying planes, so of course you'd be doing that. But in my mind, if you did something like that, when you looked at your map, you could probably see other planes that you own out there doing your work, essentially.
Right, exactly.
That would be pretty cool. So is this the Colonel's secret recipe? Wait, I missed a couple here. I think he might name his vessel the KFC also. Wow, that's random. So is the Colonel's secret recipe? Rob says, I just ordered my son-in-law a new controller for his computer for his birthday. Thanks, Amazon. It's arriving on his birthday tomorrow. Nice. Each quote-unquote... What are you about to say?
I was just saying that is pretty cool. It actually shows up on time.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that you have to... I don't know. That's something, I don't know. You should be able to take that for granted. You really should be able to take it for granted. Each quote-unquote runway I have seen Otto on is showing how fabulous he is in high heels. Oh. Well, that's my moonlighting. Those are the runways I touch down on at night. Oh, it is night in real life. Rob says, Bears, tune into my channel on Wednesday at noon Pacific time after the 21st to find out what I name my ship. There you go. Of course, if I happen to be on Di's ship, it's her name. Hey, Di's going to name her ship the Good Ship Lollipop, right? I would assume.
Yeah, if she doesn't, I'll be almost disappointed.
I will be too. I will be too. It's just...
If I can, I'm going to try to tune in. Regardless, whether or not it's Rob's or Di's. I will tune in, if possible, I will tune in to either one of them to see what the name is.
I will try to do the same.
I feel like I've got homework right now, though. That's the problem.
Why? 'Cause
I have to come up with a name. Like, you already have names.
that's true.
Like, yeah. Like, now I have to actually think of it. A freaking name.
I've got that squared away. I had it squared away when it was unnecessary. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're prepped and ready to go. One of these days I'll be like, fuck, there's the dainty taint.
It even says it.
Well, because that's one of the things too, is like as you come into port, they can see what the name of the ship is.
Yeah.
And like who the captain is and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not going to be like a big mystery or whatever. So like you can be like, you know, in awe of like the big named people in the system or whatever.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You run into a big streamer, like, yeah. You'll
know. I don't know that either, Rob. Whether Rob says I still don't know if all three ships get one name or if need three names. I don't know that either. I hope that it's three names, because why would you name all three ships SS Minnow? That'd be kind of crazy.
I have reason to believe that you're probably right, that it will be all three.
Yeah, like you just name it and like doesn't matter what size of ship you're on or whatever, it's just gonna name it that.
Yeah.
Which would be kinda room for improvement, I guess.
True. Bear says, good ship Lollipop, sucker. Get it, sucker Lollipop. Right.
Oh, we get it.
Well, I think I'm gonna... Well, alright, let me check the map again. I feel like I ought to be starting to descend. I think we are getting close to Raleigh.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, we are... Yeah, we're actually closer than I thought. Okay.
Where are my peanuts?
Oh shit, we never did get the peanuts out. Fuck. It's the stewardess's fault.
0 out of 10, no peanuts.
The plane was built in '39. I don't know what you were expecting. Okay, I do know what you were expecting. You were expecting peanuts.
This plane's got those little ashtrays in the armrest. I'm offended.
You're damn right. We don't even have a no smoking light.
RP says, if it's one name, the brig name works for all. What's the brig name, RP?
Mine's the Bloody Stool. I don't know if I want all my ships to be named Bloody Stool.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's funny every now and then, but not every night.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to lay off the pasta and no more tomato sauce, I guess.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, too much Bloody Stool definitely merits a doctor's visit. I would say any is what they recommend.
Yeah.
Captain Otto checks the map and reads, "You are here."
How cool would that be? Like, just have a big icon. You are here. Like when
Otto's-
you're in the mall.
Otto's plane has a light-up light. That's right. It's just got a picture of a cigarette, no cross through it. Just... Rob's brig is named the Wailing Bitch.
See, that does work for all of them. Really, it does.
Are they gonna let you do it?
I wonder how many. I wonder how many letters you're restricted to. Yeah, I would imagine you have to avoid certain names, but there's probably going to be a character limit.
Yeah, that's true. I worry about that with the Extraordinary Magnitude, because I've had that name for a long time.
I love that name,
still
though.
use it. Me too, but I'm like, man, that's a lot of letters.
I think I'm going to have to go with, like, Titletown or something.
Titletown.
Yeah, to stick with the whole Packer theme.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call Green Bay Titletown.
So I want to try to adjust this sort of from the seat. Yeah.
The Captain Otto turns on the Macarena dance party time on the plane. Hey, Macarena.
That's a Bears comment. Sight unseen. I know that's a Bears comment.
Exactly.
Okay, we're descending right into that mountain, so that's not going to work for me.
What? You don't want to take out the mountain?
I thought about it, passengers, and not today.
You should see if you can fly over Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. Yeah, see if you can find some UFOs out there.
Oh yeah, there you go. I thought you were talking about Skywalker Ranch for a second. I was like, well, is there anything to see outside that?
Yeah, no, my dad and I, we watched, there's a show on History or Discovery, whatever. The Mystery of Skinwalker Ranch. And, you know, they're convinced there's something like a mile high up there that, like, causes all kinds of issues. And there are stories of craft coming out and going back into, like, a mesa that's right next to the ranch and all this kind of craziness.
Huh.
Yeah, and then they see all these, what they call them now, UWPs.
I still
something.
like UFOs. I don't know why they're complicating it.
Yeah, like, it's the same thing, right? It's just like,
right.
Whatever. But yeah, they see all these different things in the sky, and they've got cameras, like, all over the place and stuff. And, yeah, my dad, we make a point to watch it every Tuesday. It's an interesting show. Whether or not I believe half of the stuff, I don't know. They may glamorize it for TV. But at the same time, there's a dude that's there doing experiments and stuff that works for NASA. And so I feel like he wants to try to keep his job and not sound like a kook.
Yeah, probably. You would think that he would have that inclination.
I would like to think so.
So we are close. I don't see an airport yet, though. Looks like it should be off to our right. Huh. Oh, wait. I think I do see it.
You're right, Rob. Skinwalker Ranch is privately owned by... I can't remember the dude's name now, but yeah. It is privately owned.
No more investigations.
Yep.
Don't fly over the Bermuda Triangle. I hear men get transformed into bear men. Interesting.
That's rough.
Because if you were not a bear before, you would be by the time you get out. Something tells me you've been through that there, Bermuda
That-
Triangle.
That might ruin your weekend if you weren't prepared for it.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, UAP. There you go, Rob. UAP is what they call them.
Unknown aerial phenomena.
So, explain to me what the difference between unknown aerial phenomena and UFO is. Unknown flying object.
Yeah.
You're just using different words. They mean exactly
To say
the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's just like, come on. I understand the whole concept of words matter, but in this case, they're the exact same goddamn thing.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a subset. It's not. It's
Right.
the exact same.
Yeah.
So there's the airport. Unfortunately, the runway that I believe I'm supposed to land on is the one that's going horizontal there. I'm not exactly on it, but...
Bear
There's
says, nah, it's already a bear.
Oh!
At least you got that going for you.
Silly me.
Yeah, come on, Otto. You should have known that already.
I know. That was a dumb question of mine. But that's how he became a bear. Hey, we can open up the windows now.
Yeah, let's get some breeze in this joint.
Hell yeah.
I want to feel the wind in my hair, Otto.
I want to
Captain
feel
Otto.
the wind beneath my wings.
Look at that. 2 different games, you're a captain. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. See how I do that? I'll get people to
Nice.
call me captain if it kills me. I always wanted to be a captain.
Walk into the bedroom. Look, honey. Sorry, you have to call me captain. Everybody else does. It's
Jody,
a title.
You're supposed to wake up and say captain on the bridge.
I just imagine her like actually talking to you, like ignoring her. Like, I'm not gonna listen to you until you call me captain. I'm not calling you captain.
She's like, I'm the captain.
More arguments get started this way. Bear says UFO stands for unidentified fabulous object.
Oh.
I
Only
did not know that.
only a half bear, half alien would say that.
This is true.
I mean, somebody that's a big fan of unidentified flying objects. So now I've lost the runway. I would have been better suited to just land on the damn runway that I could see better. But now it's behind the clouds.
Rob says UFO means any flying object that we have not yet identified. UAP means an unknown flying object we don't think we can explain. So, okay, so we have zero explanation for how it's flying. Whereas a UFO means we can kind of explain it, we just haven't identified what it is yet.
I don't know. They smack is the same thing. But, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Otto.
It seems redundant.
Rob says, when I made Sergeant, my wife said, yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty much what my wife did. She went to the PX and bought, like, General stars and put them on her hat. She's like, you still don't outrank me. I'm like, okay, great, thanks. Bear says, don't pull my finger if you want to feel the wind beneath your wings, because you might pass out from my wind.
from my wind. Wow. Oh,
Nice.
Bears. I've missed those comments, Bears. Where have you been?
Bears, you need to be around more often.
I mean, You don't need to be. But you're always
No.
welcome.
No, Bears, you need to be. Don't listen to Otto. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You have to be here.
Bears needs to do what Bears needs to do for a bear.
No,
Whatever
no,
bear
Otto.
does.
Come on, Otto. You have to, like, be very... You must show up. And
For
blah,
me.
blah, blah. Yes.
That's true. Maximum pressure.
That's right. Be square, be there. Whatever the hell it is.
Oh, hell. So, yeah, the clouds. That's... Man, I don't want this to be a... Whatever they call that. A go-around. But... I still don't see the runway.
I like to call it a loop-de-loop.
Yeah. I might like to call it that, but I don't like it. It's just like... I like to get it right the first time.
Oh, there's something over there. I see the dot.
But I don't think the dot is the airport, unfortunately.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I almost wish I could get rid of those dots. Those are like points of interest. I can get rid of them. I don't know why I haven't. Because I guess sometimes I like to be flying over one and it's like, oh, I'm above Toledo. You know, like it does. It's kind of interesting, but oh hell, we're gonna slow down. Visibility sucks.
Bear says, where have I been, Otto? I was in the Bermuda Triangle. Nicely played, sir.
So dumb.
Casper says, it's the bare necessities.
Also dumb. You guys. I'm going to try to keep us
Rob
alive.
says that you are about to do the reach around. Which Bear thinks is kinky. But
I don't want to do that.
I just think it's expected. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
I think I'm looking for the airport in the wrong area. It's
you know what I would, if I were you, I'd just look for the straightest stretch of interstate.
yeah. Nothing could go wrong there.
No, perfectly normal.
Out of the points of interest, so you can make witty comments to the passengers. That's true.
Don't we have to have passengers first, though?
Yeah. How else am I going to know if that's Toledo? Oh, I just take you guys as my virtual passengers.
Aw, shucks.
Viewers, chat, I guess Gary's flight crew since he's here.
Yeah, I'm handing out the non-existent peanuts. And bitching about the fact that I don't have any. I'd love to be eating some peanuts right now, Otto.
You don't have to be salty about it.
You tight bastard.
I know who eats unsalted peanuts.
No kidding.
So we're going pretty slow. We're getting pretty close.
Otto doesn't even spring for the fucking salt on the pretzels.
Hell no. What do you think this is? You know, we have, what, 16 seats? Yeah, I'm not... If we die, it's no big deal. I don't think I was supposed to say that part out loud. I was going to say something about the salt on the peanuts, damn it.
I will burn this plane to the ground.
Oh, we got a runway in sight.
Oh, hey, we might make it. What's it feel like?
I believe that's our runway. Oh, well, that's good. That takes a lot.
How entertaining would it be if we did run out of fuel before we made it there?
It'd be pretty entertaining until the screen went black. I gotta admit, the crash animations aren't too.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
They would, in 20 plus years, you'd think they'd have it figured out by now.
Right.
But they don't. It was the exact same thing back then.
Yeah, just screen fade to black. Whoa, 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 what was that? Why did that happen? The wind just like threw the plane to the right. That is strange. We better close the cabin door. Passengers shouldn't be hearing that kind of talk.
Yeah, they don't need to hear the commentary.
Yeah. I don't think they'd appreciate it. Why?
I
Look at how
I
we're at.
finally saw that was
Oh,
quite the
man.
adjustment.
We are flying at an angle. This is not good.
You have it hard over, and you're still not getting over where you need to be.
It's not good. So what happens when we hit the ground? I mean, if it's still going to be pushing me to the right, we're not even straight. This is ridiculous. I'll use the rudder.
As long as you're forward, that's all that matters, right?
Right. Oh dear. So the rudder was the answer. Even though I try not to use that so much in flight. Alright, engines are idling. I don't want to come down too hard, but we've only got so much runway. No fucking wind. That was nuts. Bitch tried to kill us.
That's because you got mountains all the way around us.
I guess so, yeah. That was almost like the other one. It was just like this. I gotta be level. These wings are way too big to not be. Screw it. We're gonna miss the runway a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What's worse can happen?
Alright, we're on the ground.
So when I was in Afghanistan, and I was going to cutter for my R&R, they threw us on a C-130. First time I'd ever been on a C-130. And they take off and they do a combat takeoff. And so soon as they got enough air underneath their wings and they were stable, they just pretty much went vertical.
Oh shit.
And then like whatever elevation they needed to get to actually get over the mountains, they leveled out. So it was like boop, vertical, then flat. And needless to say, most of us did not take it very well. There was a lot of green people on that flight, and we were about ready to vomit like pretty much everywhere. And of course, the cabin's it's not pressurized, not nothing. The toilet is just a toilet with a curtain that you pull all the way around it,
Yeah.
and then you like snap it to the wall, and you go, "There's my toilet." So if you need to vomit, everybody and their brother knows exactly what the hell you're doing. If you need to take a shit, everybody knows exactly what the hell you're doing. But yeah, that was quite the experience, and of course, I'm sure that the guys flying the plane were like, "Watch this. We got a bunch of army dudes in here. That these guys are ground pounders. Let's watch. Show them what it's all about."
That's funny as hell.
Oh, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. Like, I did not realize the C-130 could go that vertical, but it's an agile plane for being like 30 or 40 years old.
Huh, I want to taxi to a gate, but I guess I can just go to whatever gate I want. It's kind of weird for Roanoke, Virginia.
Rob says, "Nice landing, but Otto, I told you, big flat wings and turbulent air."
Yeah, nothing I can do about either of those. Right. Yeah.
And Rob is very familiar with the old combat launches, and he remembers them fondly. I don't know how fondly I remember it. I mean, obviously it was a entertaining story, but at the time, it was like, holy crap, I want to puke everywhere.
Wasn't your favorite thing? Yeah.
Luckily, I did not puke everywhere. I was actually closer to losing it on our way back out of Afghanistan when we were doing the in-flight refueling, and we hit turbulence for an hour trying to in-flight refuel.
Oh God.
That was by far worse, because like the plane was just like up and down, left and right, up and down, left and right, shake, 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 and it was just like, My body was just not accepting it.
I think this is a fair place to park, right? Well, yeah, there's another plane. So, yep. We this is not a very big airport. I don't know.
Challenge the other plane to a duel.
That's right. We need some PvP here. Damn it.
That's right. Yeah. Go up with your glove and slap him and say, "You swine."
I'll say, "Yo, mama," and then something. I don't know what, but something about his mama.
Yo, mama's so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
I don't think I'm supposed to park on the yellow line, but... oh, hell. There's my parking spot, dead ahead.
What are they gonna do? Give you a parking ticket?
Well, no. No, they're not. You're right. Don't believe this parking, please. Holy shit. So we made it. My two-leg journey from Charleston, or what? From Columbus to Charleston, Charleston to Roanoke. And the next time I play aboard this plane, I'll go Roanoke to somewhere. I like this plane. It's very, very smooth. But it's also very rudimentary. And even in its rudimentary 1939 state, I still don't know how to fire it up, and I can't wrap my head around all these controls, but I'll get it eventually. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for flying the friendly skies with yours truly. And Gary has been your co-pilot for the second leg of the trip. Gary, thank you.
Thank you, Otto, for allowing me to entertain the passengers.
My pleasure. I appreciate it. And, of course, I want to thank all of our passengers. Rob, double Gary, because Gary's in there, too. He was doubling. 2 Garys, which is scary. And that's poetry. Casper, thank you. Nice landing, sir. Thank you. Bears, if I didn't already mention, and any stowaways we might have had aboard. Much obliged. And of course, earlier we had True Plaz. Appreciate you guys. Alrighty. Well, I do believe that'll do it. I want to see if I turn off the battery, will it take me back to the menu. Because that'll give me, it did. That'll give me the details. That last leg was 1 hour and 6. I'm not positive what the first leg was, but it seemed to be about 1 hour. Not bad. Alrighty, folks. That will do it for me. It was not complete. Awesome time. See everyone soon. Agreed. Gary, my stomach and bowels were empty on launch from Kuwait. It was far easier to enjoy the ride that way. I admit I was not completely ignorant ahead of time. Gary says, I am happy the C-47 was smoother on takeoff when we left. My pleasure, Rob. Thank you, yes. Please fly again. And when you do, we appreciate you choosing our airline that doesn't have a name.
So OMG Airlines.
Oh, shit. It does have a name. Sorry, folks. They're going to dock some of my pay because of that. It's OMG Airlines.
OMG management are such assholes. Let me tell you.
Yeah. They only need an excuse. That's all they need.
That's all they need.
Have a good weekend, folks. I will talk to you soon. Good night.